wanted to end it with this. Now think about, and you can tell I'm a pretty big C.S. Lewis fan, and the writer of the Chronicle of Narnia, the movies that have been out. C.S. Lewis, he once wrote comparing this whole idea of God to that of a barnacle. Now, if you can imagine a barnacle, or being a barnacle, attached to this big rock, okay, and the sea comes by, the ocean, and that's how you get your food. Your little claw comes out and gets your food, and you're secure on your rock. That's your house, and so that's your existence. That's what you understand in life. Okay, that's your environment, right? So here's the parallel. Try to explain to that barnacle how man exists and lives, and the ocean doesn't have to feed him, and he doesn't have a rock to stick on to have as his home. So the barnacle is trying to grasp this. Figures, well, man must not eat, because if the ocean doesn't feed him, how's he going to eat? And man must not have a home at all, because if he's not stuck to a rock, where does he live? So the obvious parallel there is for mankind is we think of God and we think, well, who made God? And can't understand God outside of time and outside of space, outside of matter that can be destroyed and manipulated, that God can't be manipulated, and he's all powerful and he sustains things. But his goal, and so you can kind of get that parallel. So God's goal, of course, is not to force people to worship him, but to have significantly free creatures come into a loving relationship with him. And so that's why when people ask for, well, prove there's a God, that would be pretty much throwing away your free will, one. And two, if you did prove it, that's not the goal, is for God to prove himself. I mean, he's given enough proof in creation. If that's not enough, then you're clearly not interested in knowing him in the first place in the relationship that he wants, which is free. A free relationship, that freedom meaning a chosen relationship versus a forced. Okay, if it's proved and everybody's satisfied with the proof of God, then great. It doesn't mean we're all going to serve him and love him and honor him as Father. Most likely make many people bitter and just continue to reject. And then you would also give up the opportunity for a free relationship, free will rather. And what I'm getting at is this idea of agency, this idea of, I'm going to cut that. So what I want to end with is simply a challenge that there is a God out there that does love you, and he's expressed himself in the person and work of Jesus Christ. And we're going to look more in depth in that later. Thank you so much for joining me. Again, my email, aka sump@aol.com. Thanks.